So we blew our load, huh? We blew our load. That's what these so-called experts are saying all week. That the Eagles blew their load versus the Cowboys. That we're emotionally drained from beating the Cowboys. And the New York Giants, with their 4 wins, are going to beat us. They're going to pound our ass all day on Sunday, and we can do nothing about it. Yeah, Zach Ertz may be out, but I got to tell you, I disagree. There is no way the Eagles, after winning the last 3 games in the way they did and beating the Cowboys the way they did Sunday, is going to come out and blow this division by losing to the New York stinking Giants. Still stinks. Everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Thank goodness it's a football Friday, and I wish we could play the Eagles-Giants game right now. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready. I am so sick of hearing the crap about how the Giants are going to beat the Eagles this week. My head's about to explode. It's ridiculous. I've never seen a 4-win team get so much credit. Now, I'm not saying we're world beaters, but please, the Giants haven't beat us since when? 2016? They haven't beat us since then. Why would I think a team that can't beat us, that hasn't beat us in years, that has 4 wins, is going to beat us? Because Danny Dimes going to throw a couple nickels in the air? I don't think so. I ain't worried about him. I'm ready to welcome him to the NFC East, Jeremiah Trotter style, on Eli Manning. It's coming. Now, I expect this to be a tough game. It's the New York Giants. These games are usually tough. No question about it. It is what it is. But I think that the Eagles, they have the motivation to win this game. They have the reasons to win this game. And as long as they come ready to play, they're going to be fine. As long as they have the same intensity that they played the Dallas Cowboys with the week before, they're going to be fine. Yes, we are going to be without Zach Ertz. Kind of knew this was coming. We figured this was going to happen. I hope he'll be back for the playoffs if we get there next week. I'm sure he will be, but he ain't playing versus the Giants on Sunday. This is going to be a problem because now you don't have your number 1 receiver, your number 2 receiver, your number 3 receiver, and you don't have your tight end, who is perhaps top 3 tight end in all of football. So Eagles once again are without a lot of weapons. They are without a lot of weapons, without all the weapons pretty much. And, that sucks and all those kind of things. But at the same time, it gives an opportunity for guys to step up and make a name for themselves. Now, I expect the Giants to focus in on Goddard and Ward Jr. in the passing game. So this is an opportunity, in my opinion, to let Robert Davis get an opportunity. Run some plays for him. Set him down. Set him long. Set him deep. Let's see what he could do. We haven't thrown a deep ball in like 6-7 weeks. It's ridiculous. Give him a shot. As long as... here's how I feel. As long as Carson's out there, I think Carson will be able to move the ball. I think he will be able to put points on the board. And I think he should be able to do enough just, to be able to win this game. Okay? I expect another huge game from Miles Sanders. I would focus on Miles Sanders heavy this game. I'd give him a lot of carries. I'd give him a lot of passes out of the backfield. I'd send him on some wheel routes. I would move him all around because he is the one true game breaker on this team. Also get Boston Scott in the mix, and then slowly work Jordan Howard in on short yardage situations and that kind of thing. If the Eagles protect Carson, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be able to move the ball on the New York Giants. This is for all the marbles. If the Eagles win, they clinch the division. If the Eagles lose and the Dallas Cowboys win, the Dallas Cowboys win the division. You can't give it right back to them after you went through everything you went through to get to this point. And I don't think the Eagles will. If this was an inexperienced team, right? If this was a team that hadn't been to the playoffs or hadn't won a Super Bowl a few years back, I would say, yeah, it could be a letdown situation. But I don't think that this team is going to have that. I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to be ready to play. I expect them to come out. I expect them to establish the run. I expect them to use the running backs, in the passing game as well. And I think, maybe Boston Scott could have another big game against the Giants. It's going to be interesting. But I think that overall, offensively for the Eagles, they're going to be able to move the ball on the New York Giants. And if they get in lead early, if they could get up early, I think that they could pretty much bury the Giants early. I really do. Because, look, when you're playing in the last game of the year, the last thing you want to do, especially in a meaningless game when it doesn't matter, when after win or lose, you're done for the year, you want to go home. You don't want to have injuries. You don't want to be stuck there all season rehabbing. You don't want any of those kind of things. You want to play this game and get out, especially if you don't even like the coach or you don't even think he's going to be back. So the Giant players, I believe, they'll fight. They'll come out wanting to play this game. They're going to fight. If the Eagles take it to them early, what's going to happen is some of the players will be like, the hell with this, let's just get this thing over with. But if you're in a situation where you're down, you're up 3 points, 4 points in the fourth quarter and the Giants are hanging around, you got a problem. You got a problem because then they're going to play you tough all the way through, okay? I believe that the Eagles offensively will move the ball. I think Carson's going to have a big day. I actually think he's going to have at least 3 touchdowns on Sunday. And I think he's going to have a big day passing the ball. I think Greg Ward's going to have a big day, and I think we're going to see Robert Davis make some plays. Obviously, you still got Goddard, and then Miles Sanders out of the backfield. To me, Miles Sanders is the man. He's the man, a guy who puts up great numbers. I think he's like 7th all-purpose yards in the NFL. And he could win Rookie of the Year. He's at least a candidate for Rookie of the Year. So offensively, I think the Eagles will be fine. Where I worry about this game, and where I think you got to be very concerned about this game, is defensively. It's defensively, especially the vertical passing game. Darius Slayton is a stud. He's a stud. He was a hell of a find by the New York Giants. No question about it. He killed us in the first game. We can't have that again. We can't have that again. We have to be aware of him. And he could kill us. Shepard could kill us. Daniel Jones, look, say what you want about him. People make fun, give him a hard time. I had my fun when the Giants picked him, primarily because I knew that Giant fans were so pissed. But he's going to be a good quarterback. He's going to be a good quarterback, and, he's one of those guys who, as a young kid, if he goes off, he could be in trouble. He's going to be streaky. He's going to have his ups and downs. He's going to fumble the ball. He's going to do all those things as a rookie. But look how we let Haskins play as a rookie. He looked like an all-pro. You can't allow Daniel Jones to have that kind of game. The pass rush has to be on point in this game. They have to get to Daniel Jones. And if they do that, we'll be fine. But, I'm very scared of that vertical passing game. I'm very scared of Slayton and those big chunk plays. Because like I said, when it comes to the Eagles offense, this offense right now, with the lack of weapons that we have, you need 10, 12 play drives, kill 10 minutes. That's why we're always killing the time of possession, but we don't put a ton of points on. Meanwhile, teams get the ball back and they get chunk yards on us. They get 2-3 plays and they're coming right back to score on us. We got to stop that. We got to stop that and stop it early. And I really think that this early in this game is going to tell us a lot about what kind of game this is going to be. If it's going to be a tight game or the Eagles are going to control it and it's going to be fine. If the Eagles jump out on the Giants, I think this game is done. I don't think the Giants will recover from 10-0, from 14-0. Not because they're not a good team, but I think mentally, when you're in the last game of the season and you just want to get out of there, it's like whatever at that point. So the Eagles got to take the Giants' heart and they got to take their fight early. Okay? Daniel Jones is going to be a good quarterback. He hasn't been in the Eagles-Giants game yet. So hopefully we, welcome him like Trotter welcomed Eli Manning. Get to him, hit him, put him on his ass, and let's do it. And that's how you got to do it. Definitely, their vertical passing game scares me because they do have weapons. And then, of course, you have Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, I always say this, I think he's the best, when healthy, the best running back in football. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. I expect him to do damage because he always does. Even though I don't think he had the last time we played. But I expect him to have a big game. We did do a great job against Zeke Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys only gave him the ball 13 times, so that kind of helped us. But I expect Saquon Barkley to get a lot of touches, whether it's running, through the air, and we're going to have to be aware of him. But, I mean, this is for the playoffs, man. This is for the division. You can't go out and lay an egg. And the Eagles, if they just play with the same intensity and they come out ready like they did against Dallas, they're going to beat the Giants. They're going to beat them. And what did the Giants score last week versus the Redskins? 40-plus points, right? Was it 44, 45 points? Something like that. Daniel Jones had 5 touchdowns. Great game. The week before they beat Miami, had 36 points. I think, like the Cowboys, the Giants blew their load. They scored too many points last week, and the week before, they're bound to come down. So I think that will happen also. Plus, I don't think the weather's going to be that good. It could be raining. Now, if the weather conditions hurt the vertical passing game for both teams, advantage Eagles. Because if you look, especially when the Eagles have played against some teams that were pretty good and held them down, held them in check, not including last week against the stinking Cowboys, but just like, let's think about the Seattle Seahawks, the Buffalo Bills. Okay, when they've held these teams down, a lot of those games, there was bad weather. There was bad weather, and it was very hard to go vertical. And if that happens in this game because of weather, it will only help the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I think in the long run, I think the New York Giants are an up-and-coming team. We're not going to have too many more years where the Giants are a 3-win, 4-win team and it's just us and the Cowboys. The Giants are going to rise. It's going to get back to 3 good teams in the NFC East fighting and battling each year. It's coming. But the Giants, they need a new coach because Shermer stinks. And they need to bring in Jason Garrett. Hopefully they'll sign him right away to a long-term contract. Jason Garrett should be the next coach of the New York Giants. But in all seriousness, Giants are up-and-coming team down the road. But right now, this year, I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Eagles on Sunday. I really don't. And I don't think the Eagles, I don't even think this is going to be that close in terms of how they play on the field. I feel that, and this is just my gut feeling, that the Eagles are going to come out, they're going to jump on them early. It's not going to be tons of points early, but you're never going to get the sense that the Giants could come back and beat us. I think that's how it's going to be. You're going to feel, even though the score may indicate a closer score most of the game, I think that you're going to feel the Eagles were in control of this thing all along. And by the fourth quarter, I would say mid-fourth quarter, I think the Eagles are going to break it open. I think a big pass, Robert Davis, big catch for a touchdown on a bomb. I think the Eagles break it open, and I think the Eagles are going to end up winning this game. 31-17 versus the New York Giants. I know Giant fans are going, "You're crazy, man. You're crazy. How can you say that?" You're the Giants. We always beat you. We always beat you. We've beaten you how many years in a row? Why would I think anything less? That's what I want to know. Why? You've won 4 games all year. We ain't losing to you. We ain't losing to the Giants. It's not happening. I can't even go there. Okay? Eagles are winning division. We are going to go to the playoffs. It's going to be fun talking about the playoffs next week. I am rooting for the Seattle Seahawks to win. I want the Seattle Seahawks first. Now you may be saying, why do I want the Seahawks first when the Niners are easier? Yes, the Niners are easier, I agree. But I think the Eagles are capable of beating the Seattle Seahawks in Philly. Okay? And if they win, most likely they would have to go to San Francisco the following week. I believe that second round game in San Francisco would be easier to win than going to Seattle in round 2. and having to take on Russell Wilson in Seattle. So yes, I want Seattle first because I believe we beat them, and then I want to go play the Niners because with Deshaun Jackson back, everything can change. But it's going to be fun. I will be live streaming this game, no doubt about it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. A lot of confident Giant fans out there. I like it. I want you confident, and I want you up for this. And then when you lose, I want you to give us the proper credit. I don't want to hear this game didn't matter, because the way you guys have sounded this week, obviously it does. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.